At primary school, there was a sniper battle between the IRA in the Bogside and the British Army on the Derry walls, and the bullets passed overhead in my classroom. So they shot through each set of windows in my school, and we had to jump under our tables as bullets just passed overhead. You wouldn't wake up every day to the news that somebody had been shot, or there'd been a bombing, or there'd been a hijacking. Those things became less commonplace, and you kind of forgot. I know I certainly kind of nearly forgot what it was like to hear the sound of a bomb going off. It was kind of an instant connection. When we started talking, we got on really well. I realised about 3 messages in after she told me what she did for a living that I actually knew who she was, because I'd read her articles, and she was super smart. No common sense, not a lick of common sense. And she knew more about Northern Ireland and its intricacies and its policies and politicians and everything than anyone I've ever met. She had the hugest heart, and she was always worrying about other people. Masses of empathy. I mean, it's just the most empathetic person I've ever met. She felt people's pain. And a lot of it seems to be just people who were entrenched in that when it was the Troubles, and they've come out of prison and they've come into a society they didn't recognise. I think the perception of the new IRA is something that is really only growing now. We've had so many of these groups. And Lyra was like, "Oh, will we go up for the crack?" I was like, "Do you really want to?" She was like, "Aye, Mum will go for I haven't seen a riot in years, because she's from Belfast and it's slightly more chilled out there." And when we got there, loads of people were turning up, because riot watching is literally a pastime. I'm not even exaggerating. We were only there 8 minutes. It felt like longer, but it was 8 minutes start to finish. And people were just standing about. There were people standing in their doorways with their kids. There were groups of kids behind us watching it. And we were just observing. People were throwing petrol bombs at Land Rovers, which are heavily armoured. They're built to withstand an RPG. Then I heard the crowd starting to get oh, and I was like, they're either going to rush forward or something else is going to happen. And I turned to her again to say, "Mum, we're going to move further up." And she was in the ground. And that's literally how quickly it happened. She just was too still. If she'd have fallen, she would have been, she would have been making noise or something. I knew she was too still. And then I noticed her head wound, and I put my hand to the head wound and started screaming for help, because I knew when I put my hand to the head wound that it wasn't a stone. But it's my belief. I think that it's my hope more than anything that it was instant, and that she didn't feel anything and she didn't know anything. I hope the only thing that, if she did know anything, was that with my hand on her, and she knew it was me. And I was just completely devastated. Honestly, we only got a year, and it was an amazing year. We fit so much stuff into it. You look over to your right, and there's, the President of Ireland and Theresa May and all the Northern Irish political elite. But I also think, because of who Lyra was and the people she knew and the people she was friends with, I wasn't surprised. That's what the problem with the DUP. They're telling us that they're more British than the British, but they don't want to adopt the rights that people in England, Scotland and Wales have. I mean, I was always just a voice in a crowd before. Now I'm someone that unfortunately is known because the love of my life was murdered and taken from me. It's a pity it's taken this to hopefully change the world. Yeah, I would tell her I was incredibly, incredibly proud of her. But I was anyway.